Hi, so I'm in the Etruscan tomb, and I've stupidly, I didn't bring my the stand, or part of it has fallen to pieces anyway. So I'm hoping that this is registering. I did a bit of a test and I couldn't tell whether this is working or whether it's the natural acoustics of this place. I've also really stupidly, I'm going to put it away, brought with me from the street in a rather ghoulish way that, which must have died very recently, unfortunately, a snake that has attracted a lot of flies. So I'm going to put that, I'm putting that outside, so hopefully the flies go away, but unfortunately I've brought them all in with me. Anyway, so I've laid our cards. Yeah. I've laid our cards, and this is a reading in honour of the ancestors. I've spent a lot of time here over the years praying for people, trying to connect to the ancestors. It's an Etruscan tomb. It's a beautiful day, and I've laid some cards on how we can move forward, how to get our best direction for the collective. So I'm just going to dive in. There's quite a lot of majors and there's quite a lot of multiple cards because it's only a 5-card reading, but lots came out. So listen to those flies. It's interesting. Why did I brought the snake skin, I guess, because it's a symbol of renewal. So maybe that's informing this reading. So us in the idea of moving forward and finding our North Compass, we've got the 8 of Pentacles. So we're working away at it. There's one pentacle that's not on the bench. Well, there's 2 that aren't. No, I would say 1 is on the floor, ready to be worked at down here. And so it feels like we're in progress. Stuff is happening, but there's still something to be perfected, and we're working away at it. So that's where we're starting at. The root of the reading, we've got interestingly, the Ace of Pentacles, like that 1 pentacle that's on the floor. There's a sense in which we need to, because normally I don't think about that extra pentacle when I see the 8 of Pentacles, and I did, and then I saw this, so I think it's saying pick up that last piece. If we're moving forward, we need to pick up the last piece of the puzzle. We need to work on the last bit. What does that represent for you? What is the thing that's been so far ignored, too difficult, or just been left till later in order to be worked on? That's what we have to get to now. Of course, there's a root strength as well. It's saying we've got the ability to grow, because this is the position of it. We have got the ability to grow something into a mighty oak. Above me and behind me is the most beautiful home oak that presides behind us over this. So it feels like that's kind of getting involved with the reading as well. Remember, what you look after, if you're given a new opportunity, what you look after and tend to will grow into something really incredible. Beautiful health, a baby, wealth, something physical that you're growing, something that's kind of come into this incarnation and be here, a beautiful garden, whatever it is. I'm feeling incredibly grateful at the moment because I've had a problem with one of my joints that has been persistent for many, many years, and I've currently been several weeks, if not a couple of months, without serious problem from it. It's kind of talking to me as I say that, and so there's that feeling, and it's been a process of really slowly doing something different and being very consistent with it, and it seems to be bearing some sort of incredible miraculous results at the moment. So it's that kind of thing, if it's popping into my mind, is that if you are prepared to tend to whatever this opportunity that you're being given is, it could grow into something amazing. So in terms of moving into our collective future, what we need personally and as collective, we need to look after something, and as a root skill, we are good at seeing that, and we are, when we're given a new opportunity, when it's handed to us from the divine, we see the signs, we see the symbols, we grab the opportunity, and then we can also look after that thing. We're good at that. So that's really fantastic. Something to let go of is the Judgment card, another one of these, the many majors that are coming up. So revelations, maybe in a collective sense, it means, you know, the years now, I think, of revelations that we've been going through collectively on the news cycle of like, you know, kind of amazing uncoverings of things that you can't quite believe could be true. And it's almost stunned us into a kind of what next, although there is a real galvanizing for something new, because it feels as if old structures are falling. And you know, you hear quite a lot of people talking about the fall of Rome and various different things, and I feel like there is a sense of dissolution. It doesn't feel like a growth period. It feels like something is failing about our old systems. Things are being revealed, but we're being asked to let that go, let go the sense of kind of shock and awe, and the moment when we are sort of stunned into understanding that something has changed. We're being asked to sort of move beyond that period, because we've got as our root skill being able to grow something new. It's like, okay, we understand what doesn't work. What are we going to bring, like shedding our skin, like that beautiful snake sadly lost its life, but what are we going to bring, what are we going to shed, and now let's have the renewal. We're going to have a new skin, something new is coming. So how to set our North Compass. It's interesting, we've got a bunch of cards here, 5 cards, should just be 1. 3 of them are in the upright and 2 are in the reverse. So starting with the first in the upright is the lovely look at it looking all sort of smeary because I've put some oil on my skin. 6 of Cups, which talks about nostalgia. So is that looking back to a time when we were better in the earth, when we were better at connecting to earth wisdom and teachings? Does that represent personally a time for you when you felt connected to values that you came in with into this life, or you learned from at a young age from family, stuff that really meant a lot to you, that you felt might be your passion here, wanting to reconnect with that? Is it the land? Is it some sort of artistic pursuit? Is it writing, painting? Is it the kind of innocence and love that we have when we're young that we're needing to reconnect with? This is how we're going to find our way forward. And then interestingly, Temperance and the Hierophant both in reverse, these 2 big cards. The Hierophant first. Hierophant representing the moral order, the traditional way. Well, in the reverse, I guess what it's saying to me is the traditional way isn't working, so we've got to take what we need out of those traditions and then move something forward. We've got to evolve that. That might be personally as well. Something we've been doing needs to upgrade, and we mustn't just rely on what we've always relied on from the past. That's not going to cut it at the moment. And then Temperance in reverse. Temperance is the alchemy card. It's the Aquarian card. It's the card of a big pause and an alchemizing of a situation. That's always essential. We've always got to sort of take all the parts of our lives and start sort of bringing, you know, allowing change. As I said that, my joint went, ooh, like that. You know, I always think of this old guy that I once saw interviewed who was 105 years old, and they said, what do you think the success of your long life, what are the secret of your long life? And he said, don't give up work, embrace change and do things for other people, embrace change. So obviously with Temperance, we've always got to be taking the ingredients of our lives or our culture and allowing things to evolve, not to get stuck in the old ways. So, but the fact that both of those are in the reverse, it's sort of saying, in order to move forward, I guess it's saying we don't need to be too concerned about evolving the traditional in the Hierophant. It's something else. Because later on, we've got the Star and the 8 of Swords. It's a kind of leap. It's a leap into the moment after the tower has fallen, when we get information from our ancestors through that little pink bird that appears on the Star card, and if you probably can't see it from there. It's almost coming from a different age, so stop trying to sort of alchemize and move forward. I can hear something out there. It could be a wild boar or a deer. It's quite big. Anyway, let's see. Stop trying to alchemize and move forward from what is traditional. Stop looking to that and then thinking, okay, we need to move it forward. It's almost like saying, no, in order to get these worried, self-victimizing, playing small binds out of commission, to remove them from ourselves. This could be personally. We have to allow for something bigger, and it, you know, this is the North Star reading, and we've got the North Star there. We've got to talk about, is it planetary? Have we got to listen to what the stars are saying? Is it about astrology? Is it about opening our mind right up so that we can see things from a much more eagle view, so that we don't just try in a sort of small way to evolve things from what is already there, but in fact, like, take a bigger leap, a paradigm shift, something my dad was always talking about. And where it's all going, again, we've got lots of cards. We've got, initially what came out was the Nine of Cups, which is us, independent, grown, pleased with what we've achieved. But then with this curious Nine of Swords, feeling a bit worried at night, overblown, feeling as if there are still worries that are kind of catching up with us from our subconscious period, and they're being a bit overblown. We're still not completely sure, but we're in a new partnership. And then the World, when I asked for cap the cards, so we're in a new partnership with something that, this is very independent. This is about partnership. So Nine of Pentacles, very independent. Two of Cups, very much about partnership. So something worrying us about how we move forward with others. It could be about AI. How do we move forward in partnership with this new thing that's here, whether we like it or not? But then the World. This indicates something being in its right order. So let us pull some cards. I wish I hadn't been picking up a snake skin, but never mind. I'm always picking up bits and bobs. I'm sure lots of people are like that. Right, let's cap these. So firstly, the Lua Tarot, which I got off Etsy a few years ago. And I'm not sure if she's still doing them, but they're beautiful. The Wheel of Fortune. Things are moving forward. And in this illustration, we've got this kind of, these two people, like that Two of Cups, who are waving at each other from different hills. But there's concentric circles that are kind of taking in the view. Could that be the spheres of the universe? Could that be the stars? Could that be... Oh, God, my nails are filthy because I've been digging around in the earth. Could that be the internet? So there is something. The Wheel of Fortune is moving us forward. I suspect it's something to do with AI. Let's see, what do we think about that? How can we best navigate this? How is it going to help? What attitude will help? What Ace of Wands, grab this opportunity. Grab it with gusto. Now, I don't know if this is about AI, but it's about communication, being enthusiastic and creative with it. It's interesting. It's not particularly what I expected to see, but it could be more, rather than just AI, because that's a rather limited reading of it. Maybe it is that, in fact, things are moving and we need to grab that movement and not resist it. Accept that it's happening and go with it is probably what the cards are saying. Grab, because we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Now, if we put the Ace of Wands together, that's a really fertile combination, the kind of phallus and the egg in a way. So is it that we have to grasp this opportunity and allow the movement forward and really go with it with great gusto, and this fire horse year, whenever you're watching it. And then we've got the Three of Visions. There's celebration to come. This is beautiful. The ancestors are giving us a very upbeat message here. That's the Three of Cups. It's saying things are good. Things are going in the right way. However disturbing they've been for you personally or out in the world, there's a sense that things are evolving, which is wonderful. And that there's going to be celebration in communities. Could we have some more advice maybe about how to deal with the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords? Again, the Ace of Wands. Wow, this is really dynamic energy coming from the ancestors. 2 Ace of Wands, back to back, pretty much. What do you mean by that? What could grasp our creativity? And then the 2 of Wands. Grasp your creativity and then decide where you want to go with it. It's saying be creative. Above all, be creative. Don't be a passive consumer. Is that what this means in this time? And it will stop us feeling the overwhelm of that 8 and 9 of Swords if we create. Is there any sort of direct, mode that we're supposed to be creating in, or is there anything that you want to say to us about that? The 7 of Wands. So here we've got a character who's running with a wand in her hand, outrunning the pressures of life. So it's saying it will relieve, because the 7 of Wands is when we feel we're on higher ground but we feel a bit overwhelmed. It's saying your creativity will keep to relieving you of that feeling of overwhelm. So whatever that means for you, if you're a poet, if you're a dancer, if you like to take photographs, if you like to paint, if you like to make these videos, whatever it is, that is what's going to relieve you, and that is going to give you your 9 of Pentacles. So she's turned up twice too. The 9 of Pentacles, which was in our where it's all going, our true wealth is in creativity at the moment. And here the bird of inspiration that sits on her hand in the Rider Waite is huge. It's everything. It's about the intuition. It's about taming that kind of ability to talk to the other side, like the bird in the star card. It's about opening our consciousness up to the other side, like I'm doing now, like I'm sure lots of people can do in their own life. Through creativity is a great way, because what you're sort of doing is acknowledging that there's more than the physical in this world. And when you do that, messages can come through and guidance, and you can start finding your correct way through. Let's see what other cards want to come out. Okay, so we've got the 2 of Coins. That's sort of balancing lightly on his fingertips, these 2 different worlds. And then the Page of Swords, who makes a plan, the Chariot, who makes a plan, and the Page of Wands. That's very fast energy. It's saying, go with the creativity. It doesn't matter if you're not an expert, because the Page of Swords isn't particularly an expert. Oh, look at the light that comes off these. Isn't that beautiful? She's not particularly an expert. Here we've got a young lad. He reminds me of Will in the Philip Pullman books, about to cut through into another world, because he's got his sword held up. And I don't know if you know those books, but they're about kind of cutting through into other worlds. So even if you're not an expert, make a plan on how to communicate with these other worlds. Move forward in a kind of a way that is going to really enhance your journey. Like, split the laser beam, because we've got those 2 pentacles as well, so you can live in both a creative life and your normal life if it's not a purely creative job that you do. And then the Page of Wands, get excited, follow your passions. This is where we're going to be most happy. So not taking what is just being given to us, because that's probably not going to help in any way, because it's not connecting to your own creativity or to your own sense of other worlds. It's about making your own creations, your own connections to those other worlds, hearing those other voices. The ancestors would say that, I guess. And then here we've got the door to winter. So talking about will and making doors into other worlds, the door to winter, is it saying, oh, there's a huge June bug. The door to winter. Explain to us what you mean by that. The mushroom people. Mushroom picnic. So it's raining and there are loads of people with mushrooms, and it's sort of saying, I've just been to a village near here which is got these 2 hilarious mushroom sculptures in it of people who are part mushroom. So it's saying to me, this door, which might become biggest and most clear around the time when the equinox is happening, so in several months' time, whichever hemisphere you're in, will allow you into this kind of other world, this world of microbes, as well as the sky. It's what connects us all underneath that creates a happiness. The sculpture that I'm thinking of is a very happy one because of connection. So this might be coming to fruition, this doorway in the winter, maybe, or high summer if you're in the southern hemisphere. And then what have we got here? Finally, wow, I've never seen this one. Keepers of the children of earth, awaken your power. This is such a lovely message. Because I haven't seen it, it's got even more impact on me. Here we go. Look at that. The light bouncing off it. Keepers of the children of earth, awaken your power. That's the ultimate message, isn't it? We've got those concentric circles again, like in the Wheel of Fortune. We've got these three people that remind me of the Three of Cups, the celebration. And I'm going to read from the book. Oh, if I've got it. I probably haven't, but let's have a look. They've all got their third eye indicated. And it's the power comes from aligning with Earth, aligning with the stars, aligning with the microbes. Yes, I have got the book. Let's have a listen. And that's when, and then when we use our creativity to listen to those voices and not listening, just consuming, but actually connecting, that's when we all wake up. What a lovely message, right? H-I-J-K. Keepers of the children of earth. Let's have a look. I have no idea whether this is working, but anyway. The card you've selected shows three female figures, a child, an elder, and a guardian. Each has a symbol on their forehead over the third eye or sixth chakra. The child has a symbol of the crescent moon and Venus. The elder has the infinity or the lemniscape symbol, and the guardian has the egg of life symbol. Each wears an Inca headdress. The child has a tear coming out of her right eye and her eyes are closed. The elder's eyes are open, looking directly at the viewer. The elder and the child each hold a turtle and are joined together in front of a pathway. The guardian, whose eyes are closed as well, has a symbol on her chest of an upside-down V with a dot on top of it. The point of origin, and is gently touching the child. A bee flies towards a koi fish centered in a large imaginary flower that is growing out of the ground. Two vines are wrapped around the stem of the flower. The moon in the upper right is transmitting its energy into the trio. So here's the message. You are a child of the earth, and you are not alone. Your protective guardian is here to let you know that it's time to wake up and learn to embrace important powers. Fish awaken your senses, such as visionary dreams and clairaudience. Your koi fish, specifically, is helping you access parts of your mind that have been closed off due to self-doubt. That's those 8 and 9 of swords that we need to conquer through creativity. That self-doubt, that worry. It's imperative that you listen to the intuitive voice, so the intuitive voice that you connect to when you're creating, and you hear and trust it. The path you see is a metaphor for your life path, yet you stand before it believing it is blocked. It is not. It is an illusion. Amazing adventures await you when you realize that it has always been open, only your perspective has kept it closed. The bee wants you to remember and acknowledge your interconnectedness with many here in this dimension, as well as in higher dimensions. There is an entire network of beings at your disposal. When you balance yourself by meditating, eating healthily, walking in nature, and trusting your inner voice, then you will hear them. Your message is always to be humble and kind and act from your heart. It's important that you remember that your guardian is your point of origin, your original home. Turtle wants you to remember to connect with the power of Mother Earth, and trust that when you ask for aid and support, she will always be there for you with love and abundance. Nurture your creative energy and use that power to help heal yourself and others. Your flower is here to remind you that beauty is an important part of your life. It's how you'll find peace, pleasure, and prosperity. Remember that the full moon routinely grants your wishes. And that's wonderful, because tomorrow, I'll try and get this up as soon as possible. Tomorrow is the full moon in Scorpio, 1st of May. a time when the veils are thin, a bit like there are 3 times in the year. One of them is Samhain, and one is summer solstice, and one is around the 1st of May. And so it's saying that this full moon would be a time to get your wishes granted. So focus on what you want, not what you're worried about. I am part of a universal partnership waiting for me to wake up and remember all that I once knew. What a message. I'm so happy with that. Thank you, cards. I don't think, well, we can pull one tiny little, in case this is working, but I suspect it's not. Well, pull one tiny little charm from my bag. We've got a book, and we've got the symbol for the 3 goddesses, which is like those 3, the keepers of the children, the maiden, the crone, the child, the elder, the guardian, whatever they called them. It's the 3 cycles of female. It makes me think of matriarchal society. I'm getting a real shiver when I think of that. It makes me think of groups and collectives and sharings. And then the book. Are you a writer? Are you meant to be writing this down? Are you meant to be channeling messages from those higher guardians, from the mushroom people, from the stars, from Mother Earth, from our guardians that will help all of us? This is such a lovely message. See you again. Bye.